Hey y'all, welcome to this Joyful Life podcast. My name is Rachel Witt. I'm so pumped for this episode 39. We are talking about cell phones today and motherhood and all the things that matter. I'm going to help you put your cell phone in the right place in your life so that it's not something that you are too tempted by to be on all the time. A few years ago, I felt the Lord say that I will not miss my phone when my kids grow up, and it has changed my life. So I want to share with you today just a few things that I do to have a more joyful life and not be on my phone all the time. I am so glad you're here for this episode. Let's get started. Hey y'all, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you all are here for this. I mean, this is just going to be a podcast episode that is like from my heart to yours. I pray it is an encouragement to you. I pray this episode gives you permission to make some changes that you need to make in your life for you and for your family. So this came from a few years ago, just really being convicted that it was just too tempting to look at my phone too much and just to be on it for everything. I mean, I've got 6 children, so I super duper love placing grocery orders from an app on my phone. And I know that phones have a good place. They can be used for good, but they can also be used too much. And I've got 6 children, and I have 4 years where I've got all of my kids at home. And just knowing that, I'm like, man, I need my phone to be in the right place in my life and not be something that is just in my face all the time. I want to be present. I want to be in the moment. I want to have a meaningful motherhood, and I just can't be on my phone all the time. So these are some tips for you, some things that I do. It's not an exclusive list. It's just 7 things that I do, but they have made such an impact in my life, and I know that they'll make an impact in your life too. We're going to go to the Bible first. We're going to Ephesians chapter 5. So we're going to read together verses 15, 16, and 17, and that's really going to guide us in this episode talking about cell phones. All right, Ephesians 5, 15, 16, and 17. Pay careful attention then to how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise, making the most of the time. Whew! Because the days are evil. So don't be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. For me, in my life, the Lord's will is for my cell phone to have a place, but not to be the most important thing, not to be the thing that I look at the most. And because of that, I needed some boundaries. And these are 7 boundaries that I have. The first one, y'all, this is serious because I do work from home. Sometimes it can be tempting to work too long or be on my phone or just check one more thing. And really, I just want to be a mom who raises amazing kids and is in the moment and having a meaningful motherhood. So sometimes I give my phone to my husband, Josh, and he locks it in his truck. So if I feel like the phone's been too much or it's going off or whatever, I'll literally give it to him and he locks it in his truck. And a few hours go by and I'll be like, okay, I can have my phone again, and he'll go get it and bring it to me. So literally, if you feel like you need a break and you just can't get away from your phone, give it to your husband, have him lock it in his car. It works every single time. It's kind of crazy, but honestly, it's just a blessing. All right. Another tip that I have for you is when my kids talk to me, I put my phone down. I think this teaches my children that what they have to tell me is so much more important than my phone, and that I'm excited to hear what they have to say. And sometimes it's Ninja Turtles. Sometimes it's an unfair moment with a sibling. Sometimes it is just something that happened at school, but I want them to know no matter what it is, it's important to me. No matter what it is, I want to hear it, and I want to hear it right now. So when my kids talk to me, I put my phone down. There is one exception. So my oldest daughter is a type 1 diabetic, and when I am texting her when she's at school, I do make that a priority. So I'll tell my children, I need 1 minute because I'm helping Grace with her blood sugar, and then I'll be here. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. And one of my children says, hey, Mom, I've got something to tell you. And I'll say, oh, man, I can't wait to hear it. And that's just like his catchphrase. Hey, Mom, I've got something to tell you. And I'll say, oh, I can't wait to hear it. And it's like our little thing that we say to each other. But I just want him to know that what he is going to tell me is important to me, no matter what it is. When my kids talk to me, I put my phone down. All right, another one, number 3, set time limits. You guys, this is so important. Go and look at how many times you picked up your phone yesterday and how much time you spent on your phone. You can even look and see how much time you spent on each app. And you can even set time limits by the app. So if you want only 30 minutes on Facebook or 30 minutes on Instagram or whatever, then you can actually set that time limit, and your phone will tell you when time is up, and it will shut the app down. It's amazing. So I want to encourage you, do that. Sometimes it's just a reminder for me. Maybe I've got extra work that I have to do, or I need to go and, post something or create something really quick and my time is up. Okay, I can be flexible with that, but most of the time it is my limit. Like, oh, there it is. I am off that app for the rest of the day. And I want to encourage you, do that, because it is so easy to mindlessly scroll for a long time. And then you're like, whoa, where did those 47 minutes go? That's crazy. So setting limits is so important in just giving your phone the right place in your life and not the most space in your life. Okay, number 4. I choose 1 day a week to be completely phone free. Again, the exception being everything that I have to do with my daughter on our phones for type 1 diabetes. But other than that, it's like, that's my day. I am not on social media at all. I am not responding to texts that can wait. If it can't wait, that's one thing. But if it can wait, then I'll wait till my kids are asleep that night. But I'm not on social media at all 1 day a week, and it is glorious. And I want y'all to try this. I even want you to try it on vacation, because these moments are precious and we need time to refresh and restore our hearts and our minds. And it just makes so much sense. Set limits. Say, this is when I'm going to be on my phone. This is when I'm not. And that actually goes into number 5, which is do not disturb. So maybe on that 1 day a week, just be on do not disturb on your phone all day. Maybe when you're on vacation, be on do not disturb the entire vacation. That's what I did. Last summer, we went camping at the beach, and I literally was on do not disturb the whole time. And what it does is, do not disturb is not telling people don't bug me. It's saying to me, I want control over when I check the text and when I see the notification and when I respond. Now, I've got a kid that has type 1 diabetes, so I do check my phone a whole lot because I never want to miss a text from her at school. I never want to miss when she's got issues with her blood sugar. I want to be there for her just speedy quick, like as soon as I can. So I do check my phone just to make sure I've not missed anything fairly often, but being on do not disturb puts me in control, and it's awesome. So you can set those limits. You can set the notification preferences for apps, and do it because it matters, and it will give you so much more control. It will also help you live not on your phone all the time. It is amazing. Okay, number 6, no phones at dinner. Okay, guys, listen. This is not the favorite thing about living in my house if you're a teenager in my house. So this thing is not going to win any popularity contest with my kids, and they don't like it. They do not like that Josh, my husband, and my 2 teenagers and me leave our phones in the kitchen, silenced and flipped upside down for dinner. Like literally, we have family dinner. We've got a 10-foot table. We are a family of 8. We've got 6 kids and they're awesome. And our dinners are a little wild. They're a little chaotic. They're a little crazy. And sometimes they're not, but sometimes they are. So we're a party. Everywhere we go, the Witt family is a party. But, and I love it. God is so good. I'm so thankful for my 6 children. This is just the best. And I'm so thankful for them. But dinner time is not the time to be distracted. It is time to look at each other and talk. It is time to hear about each other's days. It's time to laugh. It is time to eat. It is time to fellowship. It is sacred to me. Family dinner is sacred. I love it. I love it even when it's crazy. And I'm so thankful for it. And phones are a distraction. Phones, you'll be on the phone and you won't be listening to a family member telling you about their day. And that's not okay with me. Even in restaurants, we do not have phones out in restaurants. Now, occasionally, like our family doesn't eat out often because it's $1 million for us to eat out at a restaurant. But, when we go for birthdays or whatever, sometimes if it gets a little crazy, we'll let our kids, especially the youngest ones, if they finished their dinner, their lunch, whatever, and they need entertainment, we'll let them watch a movie on our phone or whatever. But for the most part, when we go out to eat, the phones are flipped over and silenced. And 100% of the time at my house, they're flipped over and they are on silent. And my teenagers don't like it. And I'm not going to win any popularity contests with their friends or whatever. And they tell me all the time that we have too many rules with cell phones and they don't like it, but they will survive. They will survive. It's going to be just great. They're going to survive. And even if they are unhappy with me when I remind them to leave their phone in the kitchen, flipped over and on silent, even if they're not happy about it, I'm going to hold on to the hope that one day they're grateful for family dinners. I know I am. I didn't grow up with a cell phone, but I'm grateful for the family dinners that I had with my brothers and my parents. I'm so thankful that my parents made family dinner a priority, and my kids, I just know they're going to be glad that we did this. But yes, no cell phones at the dinner table. And I catch them on it. And I'm like, no, you cannot leave your phone under your chair or under your leg. Put it in the kitchen, flip it over, and put it on silent. They don't like it. They'll be fine. All right. The last one. Okay, I just feel like this one is funny and I needed to make it last because I was afraid I would laugh too hard. But phones are not allowed in the bathroom at my house. You cannot go to the bathroom and bring your phone with you while you pee or go number 2. No. So they have to go in the kitchen, leave it in the kitchen, go to the bathroom, do your business. Do not take your phone with you. Number 1, that's disgusting. Number 2, it is not necessary. And number 3, life is to be lived and you don't need to be in the bathroom for 47 minutes because you're on your phone. Okay, so, yeah. I thought I would just end with that one. No phones in the bathroom at the Witt house. And this isn't everything. These are just some things that allow me to know that I am keeping my phone in the place that it should be in my life and not making it too important and letting my family know that they are more important than a cell phone. And it just gives us boundaries so we're not glued to it all of the time. Now, I will tell you that part of this came from being at a restaurant. There was an older couple, a whole lot, decades and decades and decades older than us. And they were at a table, a little 2-top table, and they were both on their phones the entire time they were eating their dinner. And I thought, oh my goodness, if something bad should ever happen, are they ever going to wish that they had talked to each other during that dinner? Are they ever going to wish that they had had eye-to-eye contact and laughter and felt that connection as a couple? Are they ever going to wish that? And it just broke my heart watching them. And I was on a business trip I actually took my 5th baby, Silas. I took him with me. He was a baby and I was nursing him and I got to bring him to Texas with me. We were in the Atlanta airport and I was sitting there at P.F. Chang's eating my lunch and I saw a dad with his son and the dad was on his phone playing games the entire time. I could see it. I could see what he was doing. And so instead of connecting with his son, who was probably like 8 or 9, he sat there on his phone the whole time. And it would be easy for me to judge that or whatever, but instead of that, I just let it be a lesson for me. I'm like, I don't know what that guy's going through. I don't know anything, but I hope that he's never in a moment where he wishes that he had had that connection, that eye-to-eye contact, that heart-to-heart, the laughter that you have when you're spending time with your family, eating a meal, that I just hope that he never wishes he had had more of it. And I know that God gave me this phrase for a reason, that I will never miss my phone when my kids grow up. I'm going to miss my kids. And so I don't want my phone to be in the wrong place. Now, here's the deal. Okay, I'm a multi-generational mom. I've got a 14-year-old and I have an almost 6-month-old, and I have kids in between, almost 13 and 8 and 5 and 2. Y'all, I've got 6 kids, and I want motherhood to be so meaningful. And if I could go back, being a multi-generational mama, if I could go back to being a brand new mom, I would say you put boundaries on that phone and you look at that baby as much as you can. Now, I know I've made the most of motherhood. I have no regrets. I have no shame, but cell phones are new for moms, right? Like all of us that are moms with young kids right now, this is like a generation that's growing up with cell phones, and our moms didn't when they were mothering. And so it is up to us to learn. It's up to us to put boundaries. It's up to us to figure this out so that we are never looking back and saying, I wish I wasn't on my phone so much. I wish that I had spent more time with my kids. I wish I hadn't played Candy Crush. I wish that I had not watched YouTube too much. I wish I wasn't on TikTok so much. I wish I didn't spend hours and hours and hours every day on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I wish I had gone to the park with my kids instead. So I don't know what it is for you, but for me, mostly it was just because I worked from home and worked on my phone, and I had it everywhere, and I was like, I need to put boundaries because I don't want this to be too important. I want my kids to be the most important thing. So if you have found that you need to just put your cell phone in the right place in your life, do it. Here are 7 tips that I gave you today, starting with, lock your phone in your husband's car if you have to, and ending with, don't take it to the bathroom. In between, when my kids talk to me, I put my phone down. Set some limits. Be phone free 1 day a week. Put your phone on do not disturb sometimes throughout the day. I'm not saying all day, just for little pockets of time. Put it on do not disturb. Y'all, this is it. This is the one life we have. This is the precious season. The next 4 years of my life, or 3.5 now, are the time that I've got with all 6 of my kids home before my oldest graduates high school. This is the time. And I don't ever want to spend too much time on my phone. I want to spend that time holding hands with my kids, reading books, laughing and playing Uno, watching Family Matters, which is our new TV show that brings me so much joy because I grew up on TGIF and I love it. My kids laugh so hard. I want that. I want the meaningful moments, and I want to put my phone in a place in my life where it should be and not give it too much of my life. All right, y'all, let's pray together. Heavenly Father, thank you for my friends who are listening. I pray that they could share this with someone that needs that encouragement, or that they could take some of these tips and apply them to their lives to have a more meaningful life, because we trust you and we know that we need to live as we are wise. We need to live and make our days count. We need to honor you and glorify you in everything that we're doing. And we need to be so grateful for the gifts that you have entrusted to us with our children, that we make the most of motherhood. Lord, thank you for my friends who are listening. I pray blessings and blessings over them this week. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to this Joyful Life podcast. I want you guys to find me on social media and share with me tips or boundaries that you have in place. Or just maybe something that meant a lot to you in the podcast. I love when you guys take time and you reach out and you take the time to send me a message. It means so much to me. So thank you for listening or watching on YouTube. I pray you all have a wonderful week. Be blessed, and I'll see you soon.